Museum of the New South was founded 27 years ago, initially as a museum without walls, to look at this place, Charlotte and the Piedmont region after the Civil War. It was about a place and a people and a time and a spirit of constant change. And right from the beginning, the museum redefined what a history museum could be in community. This, right from the beginning, was going to be a place where everyone could find their own story. We decided that we are really using the past to establish dialogue, to ground the conversation when there are multiple perspectives involved. And we do that because we want informed decision making for a better tomorrow. So we are about the past because we're about the future. And what we do is we connect the past to the future.
We often think that history is about the past, but history is not the past. A lot of the things that happened in history are still with us, present. And so I think that those are the kinds of things that the Levine prides itself on trying to address.
Along the way, as we began to experiment with the ways we were creating exhibits and the kind of content we were tackling, we realized that the exhibit experience was a great launching pad for real important dialogue across difference.
A lot of the voices that have been affected by economic inequality, and even forms of discrimination that had not been really explored in the past. Those voices had not been heard. And so we had to find a new way to tell those stories. And it involved updating the kind of technology that we use, current voices, oral histories that provided new perspectives on the past. And we wanted them to be really broadly accessible because everyday people, their voices just weren't being heard.
The idea is to bring the community together to confront issues that we really need to confront within a historical context. And what is so gratifying to me is when I look around the room at these dialogue programs, the room is full of not just traditional museum goers, but young people, and it's a crowd of people that really reflects the diversity of this very diverse city. Civic engagement is right at the heart of our DNA. And that role in the community became so apparent to me in 2016. I started 2.5 weeks after I started at the museum. Keith Monscott, a black man, was shot by a police officer, and the city erupted in protest. And it was a watershed moment in Charlotte. It was profoundly upsetting to so many Charlotteans. And civic leaders and community leaders and our board came to me and said, what is Levine Museum going to do? We need you to do something to help us address this crisis in the community. That is not a question that museums are asked very often, but it was really clear in the moment that we had to convene dialogue, but we had to do even more than that. We had to create an exhibit, a rapid response exhibit, to put the historical context around this moment of deep despair.
There's a lot of scholarship out there now that is talking about the role that the federal government has played in segregating communities. And so Charlotte wants to be at the forefront of trying to deal with those issues. And so we've come up with this exhibit, hashtag Home Charlotte, People, Places, Promises. And so it really tries to address the reality that the New South, and when it first emerged, it was about promising new opportunities to folks who came to this region. And what we've realized is that some of those folks have been left out.
27 years ago, we were trailblazers in the museum field. And Levine Museum of the New South has been recognized nationally and internationally for its body of work over the years. Today, our challenge is to become a trailblazer again. Our mission to connect the past to the future, to realize the promises of a New South, And our vision to use history to build community has never been more important than it is today. But how we deliver content to a generation of digital natives in an era of rapid change, the ways we deliver content will also change. And we're in the midst of that process. It's very exciting.